Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan, Mr. So Real, and welcome to this week's Good or Garbage, the #1 place where you can find out what weapons, mods, attachments, and all that stuff is being sold in the division on a weekly basis. And we got some changes for you guys. It is December the 9th, so we are going to get it in. There's quite a few mods, some attachments, some interesting things going on. There's going to be a little bit of a disclaimer right after the intro thing to let you guys know what's going up with the new setup for GOG, and hopefully you guys like it. So far I've spent 4.5 hours making this video. I really am excited about the changes coming. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this, and yeah, let's get on to it. Remember to like and share and subscribe and all that stuff if you're new, because this is the best place to find out what's up with the division, and it's been the longest running. So hey, congratulations to me. Let's celebrate 1.8 with this week's Good or Garbage. Alright guys, before we start this week's Good or Garbage, we need to talk about the changes that have come to this series so that you can better navigate the video and kind of understand the direction that we're going, so that you can easily find what you're looking for. Now, the way that we're going to start things off is we're going to go with the standard gear set items that I would say are placeholder. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, it's not bad, but it's not exactly what you want to keep or hold on to forever, because classifieds are going to dominate over standard gear set items. The next thing we'll go on to will probably be the attachments. We'll look at all of the attachments that are pretty good or recommended, or that people are looking for. If you leave something in the comment section saying there's something you might be looking for, then I might keep an eye out for it, and hey, you might see it in the next upcoming weeks of, you know, what's going on with Good or Garbage. Now the next thing we'll talk about are the mods. Mods are going to be the end game for what the division is going to be. You cannot re-roll or recalibrate mods or take them to the recalibration station and upgrade them. Good mods are going to stay good mods. Crappy mods, garbage mods are going to stay crappy mods and garbage mods. So good mods are going to be very important for the division and for your end game activities. The next thing we're going to talk about will be the good rolls. They're not necessarily at the 280 level, but the talents and the things are pretty good, and maybe you want to invest some division tech in them in the future. That's totally up to you. You might agree with some of my recommendations, you might not, but we'll see how that goes. And you know, you guys can let me know in the comment section if there's something in particular you might be looking for. Maybe you're looking for a sniper rifle with destructive and deadly. People have asked and people have received it. So the next thing that we'll talk about are the weapons or the gear that is in the 280 to 283 range. Once we get into that range, then the stats are going to be pretty good, and the only things that we're going to have to worry about are what are the things that are attributed to those weapons and to that gear. Does it have health? Does it have ammo capacity? Things like that we'll talk about in that section. And then in the last section, we're going to talk about what is in the 284 and up range. So if it's in 284 and up, it should be pretty good, but that doesn't mean that all of the talents on it are going to be good or that they could work for you. And they're going to be pretty few and far between to see every week. So expect to see some of the best and some of the most disappointing in that section. So without any more time being wasted, let's get on to this week's Good or Garbage. In DZ8, in the placeholder section, we have a final measure mask. Of course, now, as I've said before, with the gear sets, I'm only really recommending that people try to invest their division tech into classified stuff, just because the firearm stamina and electronics rolls will be higher than the regular base ones. So there's no point in really investing that hard-earned division tech into things that really just don't you know, they're not going to be the best that they can be. Now, getting on to this final measure mask, it has 990 armor, which is very good. It comes with 1256 electronics, which is not bad. And this mask for final measure comes with 10.5 exotic damage resilience. I would say definitely you want to roll that off and get something else, strictly because with final measure, if people are throwing grenades, your final measure should be absorbing those grenades, and that exotic damage probably won't do much for you unless you want to have it in case of some kind of flame turret or any kind of thing like a rolly ball or something like that. But if you are trying to use this as a counter for grenades, which a lot of people do with exotic damage resilience, then I would say this probably isn't the best in slot. But you let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think? Do you think exotic damage resilience is still viable with a final measure build? Personally, I would say no, but you know, there are a lot of strong flame turrets out there, and with Firecrest coming into the classified section pretty soon, maybe it might be a decent idea to hold on to one of these. Sticking with this week's placeholders for the gear set items, we have the Predator's Mark knee pads at the base of operations with the special equipment vendor. Now, this pair of knee pads has 1,667 armor, which is very good. It also comes with 16,182 health, which is also very good. The problem where it's lacking is the electronics at 1210. Now, the good thing about that is that you can roll that into whichever you like, and hopefully you'll get something over 1210, which will make the gear score go up even more. Now, I would definitely say do not put any division tech into these kinds of placeholder type gear set items, just because you are going to want to get classified. I'll say that over and over again in this video, but I really want to hammer that home for the newer agents, because once you get the classifieds, you can roll them into a better situation than what you get with these. So the minor attributes for these Predator's knee pads will be the bleed resistance at 32%, disorient at 32%, and blind deaf at 33%. So if you need this placeholder for maybe a Predator's build that you're working on, or you just want to try out Predators because you never have, then this could be a good little piece to try out, but it will cost you some Phoenix credits, so kind of keep that in mind. But it is a decent pair of knees for Predator's Mark. So moving on to the attachments, we have the Ti-RANT suppressor at the base of operations at the special equipment vendor, and this is not a bad, bad little muzzle to have. 7% crit hit chance, 4% crit damage, and 3.5 optimal range. It also comes with 50% reduced threat, so you can use this on some of the I guess the smaller weapons. Use this. This runs with the pistols, it runs with the MP7. We can see down in what fits for me, comes in the Navy MP5. So any of those kind of weapons, maybe the SMGs and stuff like that, you can use it if you're not interested in using like a loud vent break. Although the loud vent break does get up to about 19% crit hit damage. If you're trying to stay off the map, maybe have one with the 19 and the other one with something a little bit more low key. You can do that. I don't know. Let me know if that works out for you. And yeah, we'll see what else is out in the division this week. At East 34th Street, if you've been looking for a high-end velocity magazine, maybe to go with your Lone Star build or that Marco Styles crit hit damage LMG build, then this could work out for you. This high velocity magazine has 7.5 crit hit chance, 4% damage, and 5.1% rate of fire. There's a couple of these mods kind of floating around, but I felt like this was probably the best one, since you get a slightly more chance and you get a comparable rate of fire. There is one with 5.3% rate of fire, but it's only 7% chance. If you're looking for something like that, you can go for it with that slight rate of fire, but I think the chance, especially for an LMG, would be a better option, and that's why I'm choosing this one this week. Looking at more attachments that you may be interested in, we have the large suppressor attachment. This could work very well for larger caliber weapons, ARs, LMGs, sniper rifles, things like that. We've got 18% crit hit damage, 2.5% stability, 2.5 crit hit chance, and 42% reduced threat. So if you want to stay off the radar, maybe do some crit damage, maybe you have an AR with the deadly on it, then that could work out for you. Have a little bit of extra damage to go on top of all that extra crit damage. If a loud vent break is what you've been looking for, at East 53rd Street, they may have what you want. So there's a loud vent break being sold, 19% critical hit damage, 2.5 stability, and 2% accuracy. Remember, the loud vent breaks come with increased threat, which means that the enemies are going to be looking at you. If you are drawing aggro for your team, this could work out well for you, but if you are trying to stay low key and off the radar, personally, I wouldn't recommend it, but I know a lot of people could care less and they just want to go for that damage. So if you are looking for this, it comes with 46% increased threat, so kind of keep that in mind, but 19% crit hit damage, can't go wrong with that. At West 53rd, there is a small grip being sold with 18% crit hit damage, 5% reload speed, and 2.5% stability. If you need something like this, go on over to West 53rd Street and go and pick that up. At West 34th Street, there is the turret mod being sold with extra turret damage. The turret damage for this mod is 3.5%. Unfortunately, no 4%ers this week, but hey, you never know. In the future, maybe there will be some. Over in Southpaw, there is another ballistic shield mod. This one is a 6.5 ballistic shield health mod. Tell me, guys, if you're running the ballistic shield, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the ballistic shield health or the damage resilience one? Let me know in the comment section below. Mods, and more mods, and this time we've got two mods in the same place. DZ4, the Dark Zone vendor, has a prototype firearms mod with 252 firearms. Now, while that is not a very impressive number for firearms, the health bonus that you get as the major attribute is very, very nice with 3,272 health. Now, moving on from that, we also have the prototype performance mod, which is an excellent mod to have with 6% first aid self-heal, which is the maximum that you can get for this type of heal mod. And I'm telling you, if you don't have this and you're running solo, you're doing it wrong. Do yourself the favor, go over to DZ4 and pick it up. Now moving on to the recommended mods for this week. In the base of operations at the special equipment vendor, we have a prototype electronics mod. This mod is pretty good, I would say. Comes in at 266 for electronics, and the health on it is 3,122. So if you are looking for some electronics to help bump your build, maybe for some more survivability, this is definitely for a survivability build. Or if you're having some issues with survivability and you want to use your skills to keep you alive, plus have some health on top of it, this is a really good way to go. The next thing that is being sold is the sticky bomb explosion at 5.5. I know that sticky bombs are not really in the right place, but this is kind of close to the max at 6%, so I figured I'd throw it in there just in case you need it for your build. I don't know what everybody needs, so I'm gonna throw out stuff that may suit you, maybe not, but hey, it's gonna help somebody, and that's all that really matters. In Madison stand, for you defense build runners, if you have the shield and you love the shield, with the classified defense coming out very, very soon, you've got the ballistic shield damage resilience with 4.5%. If you guys need this, go ahead and pick it up. Leave a comment and let me know how many of you defense runners are gonna pick this up and use it. If you have something better, also let me know what you have on your build, and yeah, I'd like to see that, because I plan on making one of those builds once the classifieds come out myself. I need a little bit of help your boy out. In the cavern, there is a purple prototype stamina mod with 209 stamina and 3% damage to elites. I know that people are always looking for these damage to elite purple mods, so this may not be the highest at 3%, but it is something. And being that stamina is back up to 30 points instead of 15, this could still work out for you, or be a good placeholder until you find something with a higher damage to elites ratio. Another weapon this week with a good role at the advanced weaponry vendor in the base of operations is the MP7. Now this MP7 comes with 21.5 crit hit chance. The talents on it are competent, brutal, and talented. You have a couple options with this. Because it's an SMG and because headshot damage is not really in the best place, you really do want to have deadly on this somewhere, and the choice is going to be yours. So you want to go for straight damage and keep competent, brutal, and then swap out talented for deadly, or do you want to keep talented if you want to get the most out of your maybe your pulse or maybe your heal or something like that down the line and get rid of brutal? That is totally going to be up to you, but those are the kinds of options you have. This is not a bad role even if you just rock with it the way that it is, but I would probably put deadly on this somewhere just because it works so well with crit based builds and crit based weapons like SMGs. In DZ2 there is a refreshed mask being sold, and this refreshed mask unfortunately is 274 in terms of its gear score, but don't let that stop you from taking a look at this item. This is a pretty decent mask. The armor on it is a bit in the garbage section, and the stamina is a bit low for a roll at 1239, but the thing about it is, when you think about the synergy of what role does this play in a build, you have refresh. Refresh is going to help your healing skills give you even more power when you're in your last segment of health, 30% more. And then the other thing is the major attribute is skill power, and skill power is not great, but it is respectable at 9,719. Now the most you can get for skill power on a mask is 10,030, so it does have a little bit of ways to go, which is probably why it's at 274. But if you are looking for a mask to give you some more survivability and give you skills to use those heals at the most critical time when you're about to die, then this could be a really good mask for you. Even if you don't pick this one up, you could pick up something like this in the future that maybe has better stats or is in the 280 range. So moving on to weapons and stuff basically that doesn't necessarily have the highest gear score but does have a decent roll. We're moving on into this double barrel shotgun at the base of operations with the special equipment vendor. Now this double barrel shotgun in my opinion is a pretty nice one in terms of its talents. It comes with destructive, deadly, and talented. With talented, if you get a kill, it will help increase your skill power, and that goes up by 15% over 20 seconds. So if you want to finish something off, maybe shoot it, get your skill power up, then maybe do like a heal or something, you'll get even more heal back from that because it'll go up. Added with that, you have destructive, which is going to give you a little bit more stopping power to eat through enemy armor and stuff like that. And then deadly, you know, everybody loves deadly, especially if you have it on crits. And with all of the pellets being shot out of a double barrel shotgun, you can't go wrong with that. This is a pretty nice little sidearm. Sad that it's only 276 for the gear score, but hey, you can go ahead and pick it up in the base of operations. At the special equipment vendor in Camp Clinton, there is another Liberator being sold, and this Liberator is a bit different. It comes with 22% enemy armor damage, meticulous, competent, and determined. So this one comes with competent and determined in the third slot. Determined giving you reduced gives you more skill cooldowns. It brings your skills back faster if you get a kill, and with competent giving you weapon damage every time you use a skill. These two work hand in hand and are really good together. Meticulous in this one I would say is probably the weaker of the three, and in this slot you could probably do something, I don't know, do whatever you want with it. There's plenty of options. You could go with deadly if you wanted to do that, or you could go with destructive for more enemy armor damage. There's a lot of stuff you could do with this weapon. The only issue is that it is 267, and that's why it's in this section and not one of the other higher gear score sections. In DZ8, if you were looking for a vigorous chest piece somewhere close to the 280 range, then we have one for you, and this one comes with a little bit of a recommendation. Now the armor on this is 1937. It comes with stamina, and the stamina is at 1229. You do get 9% skill haste, which is very, very good. Everyone loves skill haste, but the thing is it comes with all resistance. So you'll have to make a kind of a choice between, do you want to keep stamina or do you want to run with all resistance? If you don't mind running all resistance, you can switch for electronics or firearms. But if you really want to get rid of all resistance and you don't mind the stamina, maybe you want to put health on it, then you can do that as well. The other thing is that also comes with 53% ammo capacity, so this is a pretty decent piece if you can get over that little caveat of stamina and all resist. Now over in Camp Clinton, there is a Cassidy shotgun that's in the 281 range, and this one, unlike the one in the base of operations, has 338 stagger. It comes with adept as well. I believe the other one came with adept. And this one comes with deadly, and it comes with boomstick. So if you didn't like the one in camp, I guess in the base of operations, you can go with this one. This one just has adept and deadly and boomstick. So that's one other option if you are looking for a Cassidy. Jax, I'm looking at you. In the base of operations at the special equipment vendor, we have a couple weapons and I believe one gear piece. So first off, we have the Cassidy at 280 gear score. It comes with competent, commanding, and boomstick. Competent is a pretty nice skill to have, or talent to have, and the stagger on it is at 312. Now the next thing that we have in the 281 bracket, or the 280 to 283 bracket, would be the Liberator. This is a pretty decent Liberator. It comes with 21% enemy armor damage. It comes with Meticulous, Adept, and Forgiving. Not a huge fan of Adept. I think Adept got a bit of a heavy-handed nerf. Meticulous depends on if you can get it to proc. I personally like it on my LMGs, but I don't really know if it would work for this this archetype of weapon. And then having Unforgiving could be good, just depends on your build. Personally, this isn't a heavy favorite, but it does fall in the 281 slot. So if you are looking for something similar to this, then go ahead and grab it. But personally, I think the Liberator from last week was quite a bit better. Now also in the 280, I guess 280 to 283 slot, this is going to be weird, a bit of an adjustment for me to get used to this. It's a totally new format. We have a bunch of we have a pair of accomplished knees. This has 1616 armor, comes with 1259 firearms. It also comes with 4% enemy armor damage, 29% disorient, 53% kill XP, and 15% damage to elites. So coming in at 282 with the max for high ends being 286, this isn't too bad. It won't cost you too much division tech to roll up, and if you are looking for something that'll help you for PvE content and maybe get you some XP, this is not a bad way to go. But of course, we all know, you know, classified gear is gonna rule. But if you are looking for something like this, go ahead and grab it. At Camp Hudson, there is a pretty nice 284 sidearm. This is the first wave X45. It comes with Expert and Brutal. Brutal is a nice talent, in my opinion, to have on your hip just when you are shooting at people's heads to finish them off. This is a pretty decent pistol. I kind of like the X45. It's not bad. The magazine is pretty good, 15, plus if you use an extended, you know, you get even more. So this is not too bad if you're not going for the shotgun sidearm with the extra damage, kind of similar to one of the other shotgun sidearms that I recommended in this video. Then you can definitely go ahead and pick this up, get that gear score up if you don't like the I guess the sidearm that was being sold in the base of operations with the higher gear score. In the base of operations, there is a 286. This is the PX4 Storm pistol. This is the only weapon or the only gear that is at 286. This is the max that you're going to get. It comes with Expert and it comes with Intense. So if you're looking for a pistol just to help you get your gear score up, you want to get that 286 in that slot for free. You don't have to spend any division tech on it. You can go ahead and get that. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the PX4, but if you do like using it, leave a comment, let me know if this is something that you would recommend to people, or is it just something you want to have buff your gear score. Another 284 plus item that you probably won't be buying is going to be this MP7 being sold at East 34th Street. That's East 34th Street. Now the thing is, stat wise, this is probably pretty good. 22.5% crit chance. Base damage, I'm gonna guess is pretty high. I didn't really check it. If you want to check how to calculate base damage on a weapon, you can check the link probably in that card up at the top about how to calculate base damage. I made that video. You can check that out anytime, and it'll help you figure out what it is your weapons are and whether you should keep them or not. Now the thing about this is this MP7 has good crit chance, probably has great base damage, but the thing is the talents just don't really work. With an MP7 you have a very small magazine of 20, even with an extended you get 40. The rate of fire is the key for this, and usually people use this for PvP, which is why with accurate and skilled and dominant it's not really going to work for PvE content, which skilled and dominant work really well for. Dominant may work if you have a friend who's always getting their super up and you're going to use that in PvP. Skilled could help you get those signatures back. Those two do work well together, but they just don't work well together on this weapon, and that's why I'm gonna say that this MP7 is straight garbage, even though it is a 284. Alright guys, that is it for this week's good or garbage. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys like the new format, and that's pretty much going to do it. If you have any comments or suggestions for how I can improve the videos even more, leave a comment in the comment section down below. I hope you guys are liking the new changes. Please remember that it does take a lot of work and a lot of time to make these videos, especially for you guys. So please remember to hit that like button. Remember to share if you can with maybe some other division agents or people you know who might be new to the division but need a little bit of help. And yeah, that could really help out a lot. If you are new and this is your first time seeing these videos, remember to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell notification thingy so that you know, you can get those notifications whenever we have a video or some kind of video or live stream. And remember that I do live stream pretty much every week. I'm going to be having a live stream a little bit later, so come on in and join me for whatever game it is we play. We play more than just the division around here, just so that we can have some fun. And on that note, thank you guys very much for coming and checking out the video. I know there are lots of options for vendor resets, but just remember this is the longest running, and I really do care about you guys and making sure that you have the best stuff that you can have so that you're not running around with garbage. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.